Okay, Scotties, we are on part 2 of our tape diagrams. So we had started this on a different homework assignment day. So example 1, example 2 should be completed at this point. We are now looking at example 3 and example 4. So when you fold it, it looks like that. So example 3 and 4. So let's go right into it. For every 3 free throws Michael makes, Zoe makes 5. Okay, so we have 3 free throws that Michael makes. I'm gonna circle that with my pink here for Michael. Zoe makes 5. I'm gonna just make Zoe's color blue, okay? So Zoe makes 5. If Zoe made 10 more free throws than Michael, how many free throws did Michael make? Okay, how many did Michael make? So our question is, how many free throws did Michael make? Okay. If Zoe made 10 more free throws than Michael, that's important, okay? Zoe has 10 more, so I'm going to underline that, okay? Zoe, I'm gonna do that in blue. Zoe made 10 more, okay? That's really important. For every 3, Zoe makes 5. So we are going to first label like we did in the previous ones, label, and make our tapes or our little boxes that represent tape. So first I'm going to start with Zoe. Well, let's start with Michael since I already have Michael there in the pink, and pink was first. So Michael. And then here I have Zoe in blue. For every 3 free throws, that means I am drawing 3 pieces of tape, trying to make them about the same distance. Same size, I guess, not really same distance, same size as much as possible. Same for Zoe. So if Michael was 3, Zoe is 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again, trying to make them the same shape as much as possible. Mine are not perfect. So we want Michael for every let's see, 3 Michael makes, Zoe makes 5. Zoe made 10 more than Michael, okay? 10 more than Michael. And then now we're trying to figure out how many did Michael make? How many did Michael make? So Zoe has 10 more total. So we know for every 3, Zoe makes 5. However, we know she has 10 more. So how many extras are there? And I'm gonna kind of use my highlighter. How many extra boxes does Zoe have than Michael? And I didn't draw these right next to each other, I guess, or not lined up, but I have 3 here and 5 here, so there's 2 extra. Zoe has 2 extra. So we know that Zoe, these 2 boxes are the 10 more that she made. She made 10 more, those equal 10. So I need to divvy up these 10 free throws into these 2 pieces of tape, these little boxes, whatever you want to call them. So how much would be in each section? Think about that. Each section is going to have 5. If this 10 more free, each piece of tape, as you recall, must be equal amounts. So that means every other box in here has how many? 5. 5, 5, 5. That means Michael made 5 in his, each piece of tape here, each box, whatever you want to call it. It's a tape diagram, so I try to go back to the word tape here. So how many in total did Michael now make? The question is only about Michael, right? How many free throws did Michael make? What we did with Zoe was just to figure out how many Michael made. We had to do all of this to figure out how much Michael made, okay? How many free throws Michael made. He made 5, 10, 15. His was 15. I always like to double check this to make sure that Zoe, in fact, had 10 more. It should work out. Hopefully it's pretty obvious, but let's double check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So Zoe has 25 altogether. I don't really have much room, so I'm gonna squeeze it in here. She equaled 25. I'll just draw like an arrow. Hers was 25. Is that 10 more than Michael? 25 is 15 plus 10. Always good to double check. So let's write that in a sentence. Michael made, and let's write that here in the answer. Michael made 15 free throws. Michael made 15 free throws. And if you're like, Mr. Ramirez, it's obvious, you know, when I look at this, how much it is. This is to start setting you up for larger numbers, maybe numbers with fractions and decimals, okay? So if you're seeing the whole numbers automatically in your head because you have really good number sense, this is to help organize later so that when we have numbers that are a little more difficult to see visually in our head or to do as quickly mentally, this is to help us, okay? Our next example, let's finish our last example here. We have someone painting, it looks like. Let's see. During the first semester, whoa, there's a lot of words here. Woo. During the first semester, the ratio of the number of students in art class to gym class was 2 to 7. Okay, we have our ratio given to us. That's kind of reminds me of this first one with the ratio given to us. So I'm going to underline those. So let's start with the pink again, 2. I'm going to underline in pink, 7. I'm going to underline in blue. However, the art classes were really small and the gym classes were large. So the principal changed students' classes for second semester. Okay, so this is kind of a background. We have 2 semesters, just like you have a total of 3, right? So this, they're talking about from first to second semester. We have trimesters, so we would go first, second, and third, but here we have first to second semester. The ratio in the second semester, the ratio of the number of students in art class to gym class was 5 to 4. So it changes, okay? So we now have, so I want to make sure I underline the same color with the color that I started with. So this was art to gym. Okay, so art and gym. And I want to art to gym. So they are being nice, giving us in the right order, but once in a while you'll see that in a different order. So blue is for the gym, pink for that art. If 75 students were in art class second semester, how many were in gym class first semester? Ooh, okay, first semester has a different tape diagram than second semester. We're gonna have to draw 4 tape diagrams. We don't have much room, so I'm gonna try to draw these as small as possible. So I'm going to kind of draw a line and maybe show that this is the top part's gonna be my first semester, second part my second semester. Hopefully I said that right. So I'll call this 1. This section is going to be first semester. So first, this second section is going to be second. So I'm gonna draw 2 sets of tape diagrams. My first semester was at 2 to 7. And because we don't have much room, I am going to shorthand this. So I'm going to call A for art. And just when I notice something like that, I will shorten it. So I'm going to use A for art and G for gym. And again, seeing how I'm color coding that to match my coding here. My art was 2 to 7. That's 2 little boxes here, right, for art. 2 pieces of tape. Gym, we have 7 pieces of tape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this tape diagram, all the pieces of tape have the same amount in it. When we get to the next second semester, let's see how that works. So we're gonna have A and G again, but it has shifted. So my art is now 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my gym is now 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If 75 students were in art class the second semester, okay, and we have the same number of students total. Okay, so this is assuming the same number of students total. Okay. So for art, we have 75 students in art. This equals 75. This whole thing is later to help us figure out the answer to how many were in gym class first semester. Okay, oops, I forgot to highlight, like my cutie packs, right? If 75 students were in art class second semester, how many were in gym class first semester? Okay, gym in first semester. Okay, So we have 75 here. We're gonna have to figure out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little boxes here, or pieces of tape. And there's 75 total. So how much is that each? Okay, this does require, this is not just like doing 5 times 2. This is a little bit larger. Okay, so we're taking that 75 and dividing it into 5. And I'm gonna tell you that is 15. So each one of these is 15. 15, 15, which means my gym is also 15. 15, 15, 15. And if we look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from semester to semester, the number of students has not changed, is what it looks like. We're assuming that by these two tape diagrams. Okay, we do not need to know the number of gym, right? For second semester, we're looking for gym in first semester. Gym in first semester. Okay, so this, I don't even need to solve this part. You can if you want. How many is in this gym? I actually don't need that for this problem to figure out this answer, to figure out the answer to this question here. So I could do it if I want, just to be very thorough and for fun, but I actually don't need it right now. So I am going to focus on what I need, which is up here, my gym number. Now later, I might add them all up to kind of double check, but I do not need it. So here, my gym, it's all 15, 15, 15, 15, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. So again, requiring some math. That's not just basic facts here. So we are gonna have to kind of figure out 7 times 15. We have 7 of these, right? You can add them 17 times, or sorry, excuse me, 7 times, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to do maybe 10 times 7 plus 5 times 7, since I have 7 groups of 10, 7 groups of 5 here. So that's a little easier for me. 7 times 10 is 70. And then 5 times, let's see, 7 times 10 is 70, 5 times 7 is 35, and I add that up, and I get 105. Oops, 105. I almost wrote 150. That would be a way different answer, right? I'd have too many students. Okay, so my answer is there are 105 students. Well, there were, because they're not in there anymore. It was first semester, which is past, right? There were 105 students in gym during the first semester. Uh-oh, I'm kind of running out of room. I'm writing off the page, if you notice. Kind of had to write off the page here, off of this little. So when I close this, it's gonna kind of look like that. That's because they didn't leave us much room here. Okay, to be super thorough, you could add 15 and 15 here, add these up, and those two totals should be equal, to be very thorough and to double check yourself. Because my time has been going and going and we have 13 minutes already gone by, I am going to stop this video so that we're not much longer than 10 minutes. Again, 10 minutes is always my goal, but I do want to be thorough. Okay, so if you want to double check, you would add the 15, 15, get that 30, these 15s equal 60. This second semester should equal the same number in the first semester. Okay, however, I'm going to tell you we're going to stop right now. I hope you learned something with all of our tape diagrams. You've seen 4 examples at this point. This is a good option for you when we encounter some ratio word problems or just ratio problems in general. Okay, have a great rest of your night, Scotties. I will see you tomorrow.